In this video lecture, we are going to see SOP2 of advanced JavaScript. In SOP2, we have to create a program for the given output. See, create a JavaScript program for following form validations. Make use of HTML5 properties to do the following validation. Name, address, contact number, and email are required fields of the form. So we cannot keep this name, address and contact number empty. Then address field should show the hint value which will disappear when the field gets focus or key press event. Means whenever we'll load this program, we should get a label or some type of a message like permanent address before filling up the form. Then telephone number should be maximum 10-digit number only. Means more than 10 digits cannot be entered in this contact field. Then email field should contain valid email address. At the rate should appear only once and not or at the beginning or at the end. It must contain at least one dot. So these are, we should enter the correct email address. If email address is not correct, then we have to pass the message that invalid email address. And then make use of pattern attribute for email to accept lowercase, uppercase, alphabets, digits and specified symbol. So we have just to display a simple HTML form, and all we have to do is we have to write a JavaScript program for this email validation. Others will be normal, name, address and contact will be just like a normal HTML form. The conditions we have to write is just for this email address, means we have to check whether that email is a correct or not. If user has entered the correct email address, then we will pass a simple message like correct information or information submitted, something like that. And if user has entered the wrong email address, then a message should be displayed that invalid email address is entered. Okay, see, I have created that. I will just show you the output for this program. Here I will enter a name like ABC, then we'll enter some address like India, and then contact. In contact only 10 values are allowed. See, even I am clicking the numbers, no more than 10 values are not entered in this contact field because we have set the maximum length for this contact. And then comes the email. Now this is an email. This format is a correct email address, correct format for email address. So I have filled up the information, and whenever I will click on the OK button, I am getting a message valid email address, or we can also pass a message information submitted. Okay, now if I am filling up wrong email address, like let's say @ symbol is at a starting, they have given us a condition that email should contain a valid @ should appear only once and not at the beginning or at the end. So okay, so where is the output here? Here I have inserted @ at the present of the or at the starting of the email address. So this is an invalid email address. So whenever I am submitting this form, I am getting a message not a valid email address. So we have to create the output in this form. So now let's start with a new notepad file. Okay, our starting will be as usual with a doc type HTML. After that, head, then title tag. Let's give title SOP3, title close. Okay, and then head close. And first, before writing a JavaScript program, we will just display the HTML form. So first is a form tag. I will give a form name is equal to form1. Okay, then now let's in the form, the first we have to display a heading, that is information form. Okay, then h1 close. After that, label your name, and we have to display a text box. So input type equal to text, then name property, let's say t1. Okay, and after that br tag, because we want next content on the next line. After that, address. Now address is a multiple lines text box. So for that we are going to use a text area tag. Okay, address, then text area. Now text area, let's first use a name property. Let's give a name add. Then number of rows and columns we want, means height and width of a text area. We are setting height and width of a text area in a form of rows and columns. Now suppose I want this text area of a height of a 5 rows, so I will use rows 5, and width of a text area I want like 30 columns, 30 or 40 columns. So I will use here calls attribute, calls is equal to 40. Okay, then after that, okay, and there is one more condition that see here, address field should show the hint value which will disappear when the field gets focus or key press event. Hint value means whenever we will run this program. Okay, where is that program? Okay, whenever we'll run this program, before user is entering some information, there should be a short hint like enter your address here. So for that we are going to use a placeholder property. Placeholder property is used to display that particular message on the output. So placeholder in will use enter address. Okay, and then text area tag close. Okay, text area tag close, again br tag, and enter. After that we have to display the contact. So for contact we can either use input type is equal to text, or in HTML5 they have introduced some new tags for the HTML forms. At the starting of the lesson, see, they have introduced us with some new types. Okay, see here, for email address we can use input type is equal to email, which is specifically designed for to enter a email address. Then see here, for a telephone number, input type is equal to tel, used to define input field that should contain a telephone number, means it will only enter a telephone number, or we can say it will only enter numbers, we cannot enter the some alphabets. And then here are some attributes, like see, first we have used here placeholder property for address, and then required field we can also use that, because they have given that we cannot keep any of the field empty, so we'll just use this required field each and everywhere. Like we cannot use name, we cannot keep the name empty, so there is no any value, we have to just use that keyword, attribute required, we don't have to pass any value. So input name is required, after that text address is required, and then contact. For contact we will use input type is equal to tel, input type equal to tel, or even if we used input type equal to text, no problem. And after that we have to take a maximum length of a 10 characters, means only 10 characters can be entered within this input field. So for that we are going to use max length property, max length, and in that we can specify our maximum length. In this case we want only 10 characters, so I will set the max length is equal to 10, and this field is also required, ret. Okay, and then br, and after that comes email address, email, then input type is equal to text. Here we can use email or normal r text box. Then name property is a very important here, so I will give here em, means id for that email address is a em. And then okay, they have said to use a pattern property, we have to use a pattern attribute. Means what, see here, pattern, it specifies a regular expression to check the input value. Means what, we have to define in what sequence our input should be present. Let's see what conditions they have given to you for the proper where is it, okay, next page. Okay, see here, make use of a pattern attribute for email to accept lowercase, uppercase alphabets, digits and specified symbols. Means what symbols can be included in an email, that we have to define in a pattern attribute. So I will use here pattern, and I will first write a syntax and then I will explain. A to Z, A to Z, and then within a curly bracket 0 dash 9, after that dash, then at the rate, 1, then dash, dot and 1. Okay, now what is this? See, we have used a pattern attribute. Why pattern attribute is used? Means that whatever string we are including in that particular text box, it should have this particular pattern. Now in case of a email, in whenever we are going to enter email in this text box, what can we enter, what characters can we enter in that email, that we have defined in this pattern attribute. Okay, now see, in this pattern what we have defined. First, in square bracket, see there is difference in this bracket. In square bracket, what I will define, what characters I can include. Means now first I can include capital A to Z and also small a to Z. Okay, these characters I can include. So I have defined that in a square bracket. Now after that I have used curly brackets, and within curly brackets I have included 0 to 9. Means number, how much number of, means A to Z, I can enter any values, any number of A, any number of, or we can say any number of alphabets between 0 to 9. So first in square bracket we will define what values we can enter, and in curly bracket we are going to define how many values we are going to enter, how many numbers of value we can enter. Okay, now this is a first string. After that in square bracket I have mentioned at the rate symbol. Okay, and in curly bracket I have given only one number. Means in that email address I can enter at the rate symbol but only one time. Okay, and same for a dot. Okay, dot symbol and only one time. Okay, if we want more than more number of dot, then we can change it, because it is not compulsory that we can include only one dot in the at the rate symbol. Okay, but after at the rate symbol we are going to insert only one dot symbol. So after, that's why we have written that after at the rate symbol. Okay, and then after email address we are going to display the submit button, br, and input type equal to submit. Okay, and then I will close your form tag close, body tag close, HTML close. Now first I will save this. Let's see whether we are getting the output or not. Let's say email validation dot html, all files, and save. Okay, now first let's see the output for this. There is email validation. Okay, so we are getting the output. This is a text box, text area. Then this is a name field, contact, in contact. Okay, we can enter only 10 numbers, and email. Okay, now currently we have not written any condition. Okay, see here, this is a why we are getting this message. See, whenever I am submitting this field, or whenever I will submit, click on this submit button, I am getting a message, please fill out this field. Okay, if I have kept address empty, then I am getting same message. If I am keeping contact empty, then I will get the same message. Why? Because we have used here required keyword. Okay, required keyword means we have used for that particular control, means we cannot keep that field empty. Okay, so for that we have used required keyword. Now let's write a condition for email address. Okay, now for that, to check the email address, we will create a JavaScript function. I will create a JavaScript function in a head tag script. language equal to JavaScript. Okay, then I will close your script tag. Okay, now let's create a function validate. Okay, name of my function is a function validate. Now let's see how to check the email whether it is a valid email address or invalid email address. First let's try to understand. See, this is an email address. Okay, now in a valid email address, normal whatever email address we are including, it is a valid email address. Now how to identify whether the email address is a valid or invalid? See, we have to check four conditions to check whether email address is an invalid email address. In that, see, first condition is @ cannot be present at the starting of the email. Okay, so what does this means? In invalid email address, we cannot include @ symbol at a starting. Suppose I have written email address in this form, dot something. Okay, in this email address @ is at a starting of the email address, so this kind of a email address will not be considered as a valid at the starting, or we can also include at the end. This form of a email address is a incorrect email address. That is a first condition. In this is a valid email address. See, in this email address @ is not at a starting or at the end, it is in the middle. Okay, then next, only one @ should be present in an email. So in this valid email, you can see that only one times @ symbol is used. More than once we cannot use @ symbol in an email address. So this is an incorrect email address because there are more than two email address present in this email. Then next, dot cannot be placed at the end of a email. So dot symbol, we cannot place dot symbol at the end of the email address. Between the email address we can place any number of a dot, no problem, but at the end we cannot place a single dot symbol. Okay, so in this valid email address you can see dot symbol is not at the end. Then next, there should be at least one dot after @ symbol. Okay, now after @ symbol, whenever we are writing an email address at the last @gmail.com, so we have to include the domain name. It may be .com, .in, .org. Okay, that are the domain name. Means what? If we are including dot at the last of an email address, it means we have not entered a domain name, because dot is present at the last, and after dot no characters are available. Means that's why that email address is an invalid email address. So we are going to check these four conditions to check whether whatever email address we are entering in an email field is a correct email address or incorrect email address. Okay, so first let's check this first condition. What is the first condition? @ cannot be present at the starting of a email. So for that we have to, now how are we going to check whether the @ or dot is present at a correct position or not? So for that we have to check the position of these symbols. Now, so to check this position of these symbols, we have to take in consideration first position and last position of @ symbol, and first position and last position of dot symbol. So before that, let's take a variable x, because we have to store the email address or whatever string we are going to enter in this email field. We have to store it in a particular variable. After only that we can check that string. So first, how am I going to take this HTML form data into the JavaScript variable? With the help of a name attribute. So first, email. Now this email field is present in this form. The name of that form is form1. So I will write here form1 dot. Now in that form1 email field, what is the name of that email field? em. So form1 dot em dot value. Okay, in this way we are going to store the HTML data in this JavaScript variable. So form1, then in that form1 there is a field with the name em, and the value within that em is we are going to store in this x. That's why I have written form1 dot em dot value. Okay, then after that we have to store the first position of @ in one variable, last position of @ in second variable. Similarly for dot. Okay, in so for that we are going to use we have to define the four variables. First, let's say at. In at variable I am going to store the first position of the email. Okay, sorry, here there will be no double quote. Now how we are going to take first position of the email? For that I am going to take x dot index of, in bracket, at the rate symbol, at the rate and semicolon. Now what is this index of? Index of function returns the position of a particular symbol that we have passed in this bracket. So at the rate means, now see, x means in x there will be email. Suppose this I have entered this email in my email field, so this string will be stored in my x variable. And in at, what I have stored, x dot index of at the rate means first position of at the rate symbol. Now what is a position? Keep in mind that the position of the string always start with a 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and further. So now in this email, this at the rate symbol has first time occurred at a third position. Okay, so in this at the rate variable, at variable, these three position will be stored. In the same way we have to store the last occurrence of the at the rate. So I will use where and at, let's give name at last, at underscore last, and in that we will store last index. So to store the last index we are going to use the function last index of, last index of at the rate. Okay, and end. While using the function, keep in mind that the starting will be always with a small letter, and middle, whenever we are going to start some new word, that word will be a capital. Like see, in this index of I is a small and then O is a capital. In last index of L is small, I is capital, O is capital. So keep that in mind whenever you are using this function. Now same we are going to do for a dot. First position of dot and last position of dot. So x dot index of, in bracket, dot, and similarly for last, where last dot equal to x dot last index of, and in double quote, dot. Okay, so we have defined these five variables. In first variable we will store the email address, and in at variable first index of at the rate, in at last occurrence of at the rate, in dot first occurrence of dot, and in last dot last occurrence of dot symbol. Now we are going to write the conditions for this to check whether the email address is valid or not. So first, for that we are going to use our if statement. If. So now first let's check the first condition. At the rate cannot be present at starting of the email. Now how are we going to identify whether at the rate symbol is present at the starting of an email or not? So see here, whenever this is a string and starting symbol of a string always has a index 0. So a is a starting symbol, so it has an index 0. So just condition is simple, we will just consider the first occurrence of the at the rate symbol. Now first occurrence of at the rate symbol we have stored in this at. So I will just write here, if at less than 1. Okay, at less than 1, what does this means? If at the rate, suppose in this place I have written the at the rate symbol. Now see here, at the rate is present at the starting of a string, which means the position of at the rate symbol is 0. And what are we checking here? If at less than 1, in at we have stored the first occurrence of at the rate. Now in this string, at the rate has first time occurred at this position. Now value of this position is 0, so it will check 0 less than 1. Yes, this condition is true. It means that at the rate is present or present at the starting of the email, which is a invalid. So we will pass a message with there. We can pass alert or document dot write alert invalid email address. Okay, and bracket close. And if this condition is false, now this is a valid email address. Okay, now in this email address, when is at the rate symbol first time occurred, at the rate symbol has first time occurred at this position, and position is 3, so it will check at less than 1, means 3 less than 1, this condition is false. It means that at the rate is not at the starting, so we will write else message that email address is correct. Or we can say, we can pass any other message like form submitted or information submitted. And okay, this is our first condition. After that we are going to check the second condition. Only one at the rate symbol should be present in the email. Now how are we going to check whether how much number of at the rate symbols are present in an email? So for that we are going to compare the first and last position of at the rate. So what condition I am writing? We have to include multiple conditions. So for that I am going to use OR logical operator. Now first, after that second condition, I will use uh, at less than last at. Okay, now what does this condition means? See, in at we have stored the first position of at the rate, in last at we have stored last position of at the rate. Now when will this condition be true? Only if there are more than one at the rate symbol, then and only then this condition will be true. So how is this possible? Now see, in this is a valid email address, so in this case first position of at the rate is 3, and also last position of at the rate is 3, because only one at the rate symbol is present. So first and last position will obviously be same position. Now it will check 3 less than 3. Is this condition true? No, this condition is false. It means there is only one at the rate and message will be information submitted. And if there are more than two at that, suppose here I have placed one more at the rate symbol. Okay, it means now first in at there will be first occurrence of at the rate is at 3 and last occurrence is at 6. Okay, now it will check. First occurrence is 3 and last occurrence is 6. So it will check 3 less than 6. Condition is true. It means that there are more than one at the rate symbol in an email. So we will get a message invalid email address. Okay. So to check whether there are more than one email at the rate symbol, we are going to just compare the position of first at the rate and last at the rate. Okay, then these are two conditions. After that, dot cannot be placed at the end of an email. So for that, our next condition will be last dot plus 2 greater than x dot length gth. Okay, now what does this condition means? See here, last dot plus 2. In last dot, we have stored the last position of a dot symbol. And why is here plus 2? Plus 2 means in correct email address, after last position of dot, there will compulsory be either 2 or 3 number of values will be present, because we are giving their domain name. So dot cannot be simply present in the last. There will be compulsory some values present after a dot. So we are writing here last dot plus 2 is greater than x dot length. So suppose the position of a last dot, x dot length means what? X dot length means length of a string. Now length of the string is 12. So if I have placed this in this string, if I have placed the dot symbol at the last of this email, so now position of this dot will be 13. Okay, now string will be obviously length of a string will be 13. So 13 plus 2, 13, 14, 15. Okay, 15 greater than x dot length. Now length of the string is 13. So this condition is becoming true. It means that I have placed dot symbol at the end of the email address, or we can say at the end of a string. Now suppose invalid email address. See, This is a correct email address. In this, the position of a last dot is 9. Okay, so 9, 9 plus 2, 9, 10, 11. Okay, and length of this string is 12. 11 greater than 12. Is this condition true? No, this condition is false. It means that there is no dot present at the end of the email. Okay, so for that we have written last dot plus 2 greater than x dot length. Okay, this is a third condition, and in fourth condition there should be at least one dot after at the rate symbol. Okay, if I have not given here dot after at the rate symbol, it means that I have not entered a domain name, means this is an invalid email address. So how are we going to check that? I will write the next condition, the or. Okay, and I will write last dot less than at. Okay, now what does this means? In last dot we have stored the last occurrence of a dot symbol, and in at the rate symbol we have stored the first occurrence of a at symbol. So in this case, see what is the last occurrence of this dot? 9, and first occurrence of is 3. So we will check last dot less than at, means 9 less than 3. Is this condition true? No, this condition is false. It means that we have placed at least one dot after at the rate symbol. Okay, now if I am not if I have not placed the dot symbol after at the rate, suppose here I have placed at the rate before at the rate symbol I have placed a dot, and after at the rate there is no dot present in this email. So now see, in last dot, what is the last occurrence of the dot in this string? 1, and occurrence of the at the rate is 3. So it will check last dot less than at, means 1 less than 3. This condition is satisfied, this condition is true. It means that I have not placed a dot symbol after at the rate, which is a invalid. So I will get a message invalid email address. Okay, and if my dot symbol is here, it means that last position of dot is greater than position of at the rate. It means that I have placed a dot symbol after the at the rate symbol. So our email address is a correct email address. Okay, so we have placed here 4 conditions, and based on that condition we will check whether our email address is a correct email address or incorrect email address. So I have defined here function. Now we will call this function when our button will be clicked. So I will use here on click function. On click is equal to function name. What is a function name? Validate. Okay, v is small. Okay, now let's see whether we are getting the output or not. First we have to enter some name, ABC, then address, then contact, okay, and then email address, abc@gmail.com. Okay, I have entered the email and I will submit. Okay, empty email address, abc. And submit. Okay, invalid email, it is not checking the condition. Let's see what is the problem. em dot value. Okay, let's remove the space here. Okay, then at and last underscore. Okay, here we have given the wrong name. It is at underscore last, then last dot x dot length length, then last dot. Okay, let's check again. And contact and email, submit. Okay, information submitted means our email address is correct. Now suppose I am entering a wrong email address, like at the present of a email address, starting of a email address. Submit invalid email address means our email address is a wrong email address. After that again, let's see, we'll enter more than one symbol. Okay, there I have placed two symbol. Submit invalid email address. Okay, now let's see, we'll place dot at the end of a email address. This is abc at the rate some dot. Okay, here I have placed dot at the end of a email address. Submit invalid email address. And one more condition was, we have to place dot compulsory after symbol. So before symbol I have placed here dot, and after there is no dot present. So let's say submit invalid email address. So it is checking all the conditions, and all the conditions are becoming true, so we are getting invalid email address. So whenever I will enter a correct email address, I will get a message information submitted. Okay, so that is, and here there is a placeholder is not shown in this Google Chrome, but in case of a Firefox, if you see the output in the Firefox, you can say that, see that placeholder property. So you will get here a message, enter address. In Google Chrome maybe it is not supporting that property, otherwise all the controls are properly uh, functioning. We are getting the message required if we are keeping the form empty. Again our email address is also being checked, address is also entered, contact number takes 10 values only. So this is a output for a SOP 2.